air cleaner on the market today. And I'll talk a little bit more about how that works. But let me just go ahead and turn this on, and you'll notice it's going to kick on to high speed. I'm going to kick it down to low.
Jeez.
You can't even hear
That's
that.
it. Nothing. Wow.
Okay? That's it. This is where this is designed to run in the kids' room at night or your room at night.
Right, I was just thinking that.
I'm going to let it run there for just a minute here, and I want to talk to you about just a couple of things.
Duggan brings the flip chart back into play here, and it's a good move. He's into a much more nuts and bolts section of the demo now, and the more visual support you have to offer your customer, the better. Good call by Dan Duggan.
Let's talk about medical devices. The Defender 7500 has been recognized as a Class II medical device by the Food and Drug Administration here in the United States, okay? The Defender 7500 is safe and effective, and because the FDA has recognized this as a Class II medical device, we're under very strict manufacturing guidelines. Matter of fact, it's equivalent to ISO 9000, if that means anything to you. What that means is that everything that we build, every product and every part that we put into this is been checked out, it's perfect, it's to our spec, so that everything you get here is high quality. It was the same thing 2 years ago, you're going to get it 5 years from now. It's going to be 100% top quality, okay? And that gives you, the consumer, a lot of rest at ease. The Defender 7500 is intended to help people who are irritated by allergies and asthma, and I think we're talking to one or possibly more.
Yeah.
Let's talk about room air cleaners, okay? They aren't all built alike. Now, I'll just turn this off for a minute and show you a couple features of it. The MyFilterQueen Defender that you see right here was designed to be the most effective air cleaner. And when we did that, we checked a couple of different categories. First of all, we wanted to have the highest level of filtration that we knew of on the market. We wanted to have the best warranty on the market. We wanted to move the most air, meaning we clean the most dust of any air cleaner on the market. And the product that you see here today, folks, achieves all those objectives as I'm sitting here today. First of all, we've decided that when we bring the air inside the machine, it all comes in through the filter here on the bottom and it exits out here through our patented volutes on the top. A lot of air cleaners bring the air in through the top and exit it out through the bottom, and what you end up doing is when you blow air out the bottom is you start doing this. So now you've got your actual air cleaner defeating the purpose. So we bring it in through the bottom, filter it all, 99.98% down to 0.1 microns, which is the highest level of filtration on the planet. I'll talk more about that in a minute, and exit it out the top. Okay? We also have what we call Sure Seal technology inside there, and what that means is that all the air that comes through has to come through the filter. There's no air gaps or leaks where dust can get by. So every bit of dust, dirt, smoke, odors, germs, bacteria, viruses that comes into this machine has to go through our filter, which is the highest rated filter that we know of today. Okay, and it all comes out here through the top. Now, have you ever seen an air cleaner that works with ozone? There's some ionic breeze, you may have heard that name, or sharper image. There's some ozone-producing air cleaners. Okay, and I don't mind mentioning their names because you know what those are? Those are air cleaners that work on a totally different principle. This is a mechanical air filter, and it's designed to work based on its filter. Some of those ozone-producing generators, what they do is they take ozone, and what that does is it takes the positive and negative ions, and it makes the dust attach to something. So it attaches itself to a wall, your TV, your tables, and it drops it out of the air. That's what they call cleaning the air, by dropping it down someplace else. Well, as I've shown you so far, if we drop the dust and dirt into the carpet, and then the dog comes in from outside.
Interesting strategy by Duggan here. He's not only going to show Kristen and Mitch what the Defender is, he's telling them what it isn't. More education for the customer, more credibility for Duggan.
Here we go again. Okay? It's like chasing your tail, right? And that's what they do. And I'll tell you something else about these. If you ever see an air cleaner that has ozone, I'm just going to tell you to beware. The Environmental Protection Agency in the United States and Health Canada, which is the equivalent of the medical community in Canada, has said that any ozone-producing air cleaner does not clean the air, is not effective. Because putting ozone into the air is not healthy. Now, it's wonderful 25,000 feet up there, but ozone down here in this room, if we put enough ozone into the air to actually effectively kill germs and bacteria, it'd kill all of us too. So putting ozone in your air is not what you want to do. Again, with the mechanical filter, which I'll show you inside here, we eliminate all those problems. Now, you also may have heard of an acronym called HEPA. It's become more popular nowadays. There's a lot of vacuum cleaners, a lot of air cleaners talk about HEPA. What HEPA is a rating of 99.97% effectiveness down to 0.3 microns. Now, I don't want to lose you, but we'll make this real simple. Back in the 50s, the government laboratories, the doctors, they needed a standard that says if we can filter to this standard, that's the best that we know of. Now, they thought back then that 0.3 was the hardest particle size to capture. In the last 10 years, technology has told us that the hardest particle size really is 0.1. And you say, well, what's the difference between 0.3 and 0.1? Not very much. Well, let me tell you something. The experts will tell you, and you can do the research on your own, that most of the bacteria, the viruses, the problem things, the harmful things that cause you, especially, Kristen, problems, are between 0.3 and 0.1. We filter all those down to 0.1, 99.98%. Again, the highest effectiveness that we know of anywhere.
See that? Duggan knows that wrapping your brain around micron numbers and ratings can make the average person's head explode. So he offers them, but he doesn't dwell on them. Instead, he immediately relates how those numbers affect what kind of air the customer is breathing. That's what they care about, and Duggan knows it.
It all works right through our machine right here. Very simply, this is all you need to do to take this apart. One screw. Even I can do this.
Yeah.
Mitch, we don't even need you for maintenance here.
Piece of cake.
And right inside here is our filters. And you're going to see two filters inside here. On the outside wrap, this is our charcoal filter. And that comes off just real simple there. And then inside is our MyFilter cartridge. Now what this cartridge is like an accordion. If you look at it real close, it's all smushed together. There's about 45 square foot of actual media inside there to do the filtering. That doesn't mean a lot to you, but let me just show you. I carry this with me all the time to give you an idea. If you take this filter and you spread it all out, it looks like little squares just like this. This filter right here came from my daughter's room. After 1 year in her bedroom, I took the filter out and I cut it out and I carry this with me and show it to everybody. This is what my 1-year-old daughter would have been breathing in her bedroom, because this is what the Defender breathed for that whole year. All the dust, dirt, smoke, odors, germs, bacteria. There shouldn't be any smoke, because the best research